I'm Josh.
This is Antoine.
And this is Pocky for Two. Today we're going to be talking about E3. I know we're a little bit behind, but we had some technical difficulties.
You broke the camera.
I didn't break the camera. The camera belongs to my work, and they were using it. But today we got the camera. We're on a tripod because we're closer to our intended background.
Right, we're getting fancy on you now.
And to prove how fancy we are, our Pocky's on a plate today. You may not notice.
High class, baby, high class.
Normally this is in the box and just kind of sitting somewhere, but we have a plate because we're fancy like that.
So, lots of things were debuted at E3. They were the three big press conferences. Microsoft, it was okay. Not really nothing, more Connect stuff, more stuff with that was pretty cool. I will say that. Main thing, Nintendo was very impressive, and I think we'll talk about the Wii U for a second right now. I am looking forward to it. He, on the other hand, is like, oh, I don't know. But, granted, the controller is weird looking, but I look forward to seeing what it can do and hold like a block thing like that. I don't know, but it looks fun. And they're putting more mature games on there, which I think will draw a bigger crowd. So I look forward to see what this thing can do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Wii U. I'm interested to see what Nintendo will do. But we were kind of talking about this today, and I think it might be simultaneously the thing I'm excited about and the thing I'm kind of meh about. And here's why. I do think the controller is a cool idea. I think it's interesting in that I think this is the first time ever that where your inventory is going to go has become a talking point of a game system. But I know, as a Zelda fan that I am, I know it's really cool to have the inventory down on your screen. That's cool. I think that's an interesting part of the controller. I think the extra level of depth that we can get in a game with the controller, as far as looking through a window into the game world, kind of cool. And I just wish Nintendo maybe would run with that. But what's happened is, Nintendo is basically the creepy girl who will do anything she can to make you want her.
Oh my God.
That's what they've done with the Wii here, because you have this awesome, innovative controller. And then you have the Nintendo Pro Controller, the Wii U Pro Controller, and it looks a lot like
a 360 controller.
Like the 360 controller.
Which is a good controller. I will say, as a PlayStation, girl from that, I got used to that controller. But during my time with 360, I've grown to become accustomed to that controller, and I like the way it handles. So.
And the thing is, I like the way the 360 controller is too. In fact, one of the PS3 controllers I want to get is actually made by a company, and they make it look like the Xbox controller. I think it's a great controller format. But it's not even like it's in the same form factor, because the sticks aren't like the 360 where they're in two different spots. They're both up top.
Okay.
And I feel kind of like Nintendo is like, oh, you wanted to go play with the 360? Okay, we'll make a controller for you. Just come touch me, please. It's so good to see Nintendo getting into the HD gaming market.
It's about time.
About time. I'm weirded out by its name, too. I know that it's... I don't know. I know what they're trying to do. Trying to signify that, well, the Wii is kind of this new brand genre of gaming systems. But I think calling it the Wii U is going to get a lot of people confused. People that don't play games. I'm just going to put this out there. There's going to be so many kids this Christmas that are going to get a Wii instead of a Wii U because their parents are dumb. I'm just saying, how many times have you gotten something because your parent didn't know what something was really called? That's what's going to happen here. Because it's so it's so similarly named, it looks the same. Minus having some more rounded edges. But altogether, pretty excited about it. And honestly, Nintendo was one of the better conferences, I thought, of E3. Because there wasn't really a lot. There wasn't. Well, there was but nothing else was that great either. Because there wasn't that much going on this year. They really have. What they were smart about is that they have the only new system coming out.
Okay.
And that's smart for them, because no matter what, there's not competition except for the systems that already exist.
Well, it's about time for one anyway. It's about time for them to do something else for that.
Exactly, and it's smart, because had they launched with the PlayStation Orbis, which there was nothing, we heard nothing about this year,
Orbis.
Or the new possible PlayStation system.
So Orbis, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Or if they had launched with the Xbox 720 or whatever the crap they're going to call it. Wii U's not going to take off. When you have these two powerhouses, Wii U's not going to take off. And so smart on you guys, Nintendo, for doing that. So I am excited about the Wii U. I wonder if some things possibly are questionable. But I think we've said that with Nintendo a bunch. I think a lot of times Nintendo has released something and people went, I don't know. We did it with the Wii. We did it with the 3DS. And it's true. We see Nintendo do things and we're like, I don't know if I wanted that in my life. But then you play it and it's actually really fun. And so I am very anxious to play the Wii U. And I definitely will be getting one because, as I said before, Zelda fan. I have to play. I know there will be a Zelda game and I have to play it. As we already said, Microsoft didn't do too much that really excited us. We kind of wanted to have our kind of favorite game or favorite thing of E3. And so, what was your favorite thing? I know we both had something come out of Sony. So what was yours?
Mine was The Last of Us. It's a post-apocalyptic game set in the US of A. There's these two characters, and it's this older guy and this girl named Ellie. I think it was Ellie. Whoever she is. Anyway, they have to band together to survive nature, mutants, not X-Men, but other mutants. With this other stuff, and it looks really amazing. And again, no release date was announced, of course, but it looks really, really good.
Yeah, when I first saw it, at first glance, it kind of looked like a zombie game. I was like, do we really need another zombie game?
Yes.
Kind of reminded me of Dead Island, kind of looking like it.
Okay.
At least from the trailers. But from what I was reading, it's not really a zombie game at all. In fact, the game was inspired by an episode of Planet Earth where some sort of fungus hosts on an ant's brain and takes over the ant's body. So it's a fungus epidemic. But on top of that, Naughty Dog, that's right, that's who made the game, right?
Yes.
Naughty Dog. They have said that they don't want it to play as much. It is going to be like a survival zombie-ish type game, but they want the game more to focus on the relationship between this girl and this guy, who they kind of coined it as like a father-daughter relationship.
Okay.
Similar to the interactions that we see in some of the Uncharted games with Drake and his mentor. And they wanted to really explore that kind of on an emotional level, what that feels like. One thing I thought was cool is when you get hurt in the game, you just hurt in the game.
Really?
Your health doesn't sit up there and regenerate. Like you have to find things to help you. It's supposed to feel very much like what it would be like.
Ooh, that sells me. I think it's really
And I think that's awesome. So I'm pretty excited about that game. My thing that I was very excited about was Beyond Two Souls, which, first of all, to tell you how excited I am about Beyond Two Souls, you have to understand that I love Heavy Rain.
Okay.
I think it was a genius game.
It was very revolutionary.
Not a game in as much as it is an interactive movie, I would say, because it's very much like you're not moving around free. Really, you know where you're going. And actually, I don't really like very linear games, but Heavy Rain for me was so cool because there's a sense with Heavy Rain of being worried, because if your character dies in Heavy Rain, they're dead. There's a bunch of other characters you can play as. They're just done and they're out of the story, and the game changes. Now, so when I heard that the people that made Heavy Rain were going to be making a game, I was already on board. Like, I would buy it now. But then I watched the trailer for this game, and
you had prior knowledge. I had no prior knowledge. I went in there, I was like, oh, this looks really good. And the fact that, hey, Juno from Inception.
Yeah.
Really?
That's where I was going next, is that just like Heavy Rain, they did a lot of motion capture, and the actors that you see in Heavy Rain and the actors that are doing the voices are doing the motion capture for their characters, and it looks so good. It looks so good. Ellen Page looks fantastic. As far as what the game's about, what I could gather from kind of doing some research, because all we've really seen is some trailers for this game. Because again, no release dates yet. But the game looks fantastic. Ellen Page is kind of this creepy girl. We see her kind of show up in this police station, and she's being really creepy and not talking. And then things start flying around the room, And according to what I've kind of read, is you at different points of the game either go between her and this ghost type person named Aiden. So you play between the two of them.
And it takes, of course, like over like 15 years.
Yeah, the game takes over a course of 15 years. So it looks great. It looks like it's going to be really intense.
Okay.
And again, I was already on board because Heavy Rain was so good. The thing about this game that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, there's kind of a theory, and I think a theory in robotics, or it may just be in things that are humanoid in nature. But people can get weirded out by artificial things that look like humans. Seeing games like this where a character looks so real, I wonder kind of in the next couple of years, are things going to begin to look so real that it's not believable? Because I watched this and I'm like, that's Ellen Page. But I can't.
No, it just looks.
But I can't. Yeah, watch it. I mean, you see it. It's running at different points here. But it looks like her, and I'm just wondering if there will be a future when maybe you would have an actor and it looks so much better than the actor or so much different, so that it's kind of like I don't want to get weirded out by my games. Pretty much is what I'm saying. I'm very excited about them. Unfortunately, neither of them have release dates.
That was the only down. So I was like, give me something. Give me a date. Tentative date. But I was disappointed personally. No Kingdom Hearts 3 news, but that's just me. Or no Final Fantasy 15 news or Versus 13 news. Square, come on, get on it. Get on it.
Square's big thing this year is they wanted to show off a new engine that they have.
Oh, come on, engine. If you ain't talking about you ain't talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, or they ain't talking about Versus 13, don't come to the table.
Yeah, undoubtedly, this new engine that they've showed us is going to be used in future games. It does look fantastic, and of course, in wonderful Square fashion, they're not letting anyone else use it. So when it does come out, whatever game they're planning to use this engine on, when it does come out, it's gonna blow everything out of the water. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited, but I'm with you. We've had how long has the PS3 been out now?
Oh gosh,
4 years, 5 years.
Forever today. Forever.
Too long, and we still don't have a Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's ridiculous. And we need it now, Square. Now. Like, now. But I think the controller's a cool idea.
Excuse me. What is that?
Back up. You ready?
I'm good. Go.